Hello.
Hey guys, welcome. This is our first episode of the Dog and Pony Show, which is our business podcast. I'm Monique Bradley.
Hey, and I'm Pete Ward.
We're from Your Fix Communications. Excited to have you guys joining us.
This is great. This is our new studio.
New studio space. Super excited about it. Proper microphones, headphones.
Yeah.
We've got it all going on.
Had to be pink.
Had to be pink.
That's fantastic.
Hey, so anyway, guys, welcome. We have been working in the digital space both for a very long time, and we felt now was a great time to start talking about ways that you can make your business better, smarter, more digitized, or grow your connections in a way which right now is safe. Pete,
That's right.
Safety is a big topic right now with what's happening with COVID-19 around the world, and I thought today is a great place for us to start really talking about the options with business. I know these other, tell us what you've been seeing on the internet right now and the effects of this pandemic on people's businesses, because you're watching a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, yes, I've been jumping on and off the internet, just checking what's going on. And look, what's happening really is there's a lot of up in the air. It's essentially what's happening is that people are not sure what's going to happen, how it's going to work. I mean, retail is slowing down, hospitality is slowing down, obviously, other things, tourism. So there's a lot of businesses slowing down. And what does that mean for their staff? Where does that...
That's so true.
Where does that leave them, and where does that leave the business owner? Because often the business owners are really, to be honest, pulling a very little salary despite what people think. Yeah. There's not much going back to the business owner because they are focused on their,
looking after the team, right?
Team and keeping the business going. There's a lot goes into running a business. There's a lot of overheads that you don't necessarily see unless you're the accountant sitting there going, where did this few $100s go? And where did this few $100s go? And where did this few $100s go? And suddenly, that's $1,000 gone.
Wow.
So,
a lot of stress.
Keeping safe.
Keeping safe. That's really, really what we thought we would start with, keeping safe, and looking at how to really grow your business, how to diversify, and how to future-proof your business. That's really what today's topic is about. I think for me, where this sprung from is the fact that I'm part of a women's business network, and it was actually the educational topic I had to talk about this week or over the last week, and it really made me think how, and I've talked about this in social media today, in fact, that for people who are in entertainment, which is where I've come from, for people who are in front-facing service roles, hospitality, we were walking around Auckland City yesterday doing our usual weekend walk. Cafes are empty, retail stores are empty. I'm seeing people, half the amount of people walking down the road. The social distancing is really important, but it is affecting business. And now more than ever, if you are in a front-facing people role, if you're in entertainment, if you're in hospitality, if you're in retail, if your business doesn't have some sort of diversification or some opportunity to create another income stream, we really feel for you guys right now, because we know how scary that is. If we were still musicians, Pete.
Yeah, all the gigs would be cancelled, straight away, it. And not just for a couple of weeks. We're talking... we saw a person mention online for the next 100 days, all of her bookings have been cancelled. So that's what just over 3 months. So the next 3 months, where's your income coming from? That's what we're talking about with being digital can help and hinder in many ways. I mean, some people say it hinders the social interaction between people, whereas
that's right.
Whereas for me, I've been in IT for over 23 years. I got back into it I got into it just after Windows 95 launched. So
Windows 95,
Windows
my goodness.
95, start me up.
Yeah.
Don't and never stop.
Out comes the rock and roll.
If everyone remembers, they paid, I think it was $20 million to use Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones.
Did they?
Yeah, that was a lot of money back in those days. $20 million for one snippet, probably 10 seconds of a song.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy.
So,
good money there. Good money in music. Not in live performance right now, but in music.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so basically, diversifying is what we're really saying.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about the safe? What I've got?
Yeah, I think first of all though, Pete, can I just, for people who haven't met us before, if you've never watched any of our other content online, it's probably a great place to start. Just if you want to share a little bit about your background, because it's pretty extraordinary.
Very interesting, yes. So my story is that I'm what you call a second chance learner. So what that means is I left school with no qualifications and basically went nowhere. Ended up probably on the dole most of the time. And what happened was I was fiddling around with computers and I saw an ad for a Polytech course in the newspaper, the local newspaper, tiny little ad, 6 lines long. And I went, you know what? These computers, I really quite like them. I might apply for that. So I did. So what happened basically is that I had an opportunity to educate myself and get a bit of paper and get a qualification as a second chance learner. And that turned my life around.
Wow.
Absolutely put it on its head. Suddenly I had confidence. I got a job, straight away from that. And what I did, I got obviously it's an IT job. It was an IT qualification. And I worked my way up from that. Just as starting as a network administrator all the way through to becoming an IT manager. And funny enough, I ended up in a tertiary education institute, Te Wānanga o Aotearoa, where I was an IT manager there. And what we did was, funny enough, rolled out second chance learner programs for everybody.
That's so cool.
Adults to have their qualification. That was a level 2 and 3 certificate in computer business computing, I think it was. And so I helped change other people's lives and communities. And you know the story, but for me, I'm telling you guys this, we rolled out 5,000 computers into people's homes.
That's incredible, man.
Quite amazing. So yeah, 5,000. So I was in charge of that project and made sure that all happened. Well, what else did we do? We set up internet in a lot of schools. So we took over schools and we used their computer suites. So we paid schools quite a bit of money to do that, to use those facilities. In one particular case, there was three generations using our computers. So there was the girl at the school who got to use it during the day. There was her mother who was on our training course, and her grandfather who was on our training course, who came in and use the computers at night. So that's 3 generations are getting changed through digital education and just diversifying their lives. I guess that's what we're talking about, digital diversification today.
That's what it comes back to. And I know that a lot of the people that we talk to have this utter fear of digital. I mean, as you highlighted before, people blame digital evolution for separating people, and yet digital education, like you pioneered online learning in New Zealand. It was the first time it had ever been done.
Yeah, that's true.
And you brought people together, communities together, families together through digital education. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, actually, it's a very good point. It's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And so, rather than the digital divide, which actually means something different, but rather than dividing digitally, by like we're talking about at the moment, social isolation, from the current situation, and as where people are distancing, and people sit and they blame people sitting on their phone at a cafe. It's funny because we often go out, and because we spend a lot of time together, working together or talking. When we go to a cafe, we do sit on our phones because that's our time. That's our little separation.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant. I think digital is brilliant in the fact that, I don't have any family in Auckland as an example, and yet I still feel really connected because I use digital platforms to be able to do that. Being able to FaceTime my mum, that's brilliant. That's really important to me. We always FaceTime every week.
Yeah.
So I think the perception of digital right now couldn't be more important than ever.
Yep.
That it is now a fundamental part of business. If you can't be in the same proximity as someone else because of this health situation, to be able to connect with people virtually is the way forward. And I feel that personally, this is from my experience, and sorry to hijack your story, but I'm passionate about this. I feel now more than ever, it is the time for people who are scared about their business to look at these options of being able to grow in the digital space as well. Because if you don't, as we're seeing right now, if you can't, what's going to happen to your business? What's going to happen? And I am that technophobe. I mean, you know my story. I never touched a computer till 1998. I was, my background was theatre and film.
Yeah.
When I studied film, we didn't use computers to digitally edit. We were cutting film and sticking it together. Like, we're going way back when I studied film in 1995. So to then all of a sudden be thrust into this world, like every actor, with qualifications, I came out and worked in retail. Great with my personality, great with my voice, great at storytelling, great at connecting with people. But technology was just not my thing. It overwhelmed my brain. I still can't really open a spreadsheet and use it properly. Like, my brain doesn't work that way. My brain is kind of hardwired for other things. So then to go from retail into a job where I excelled, and then thinking I need a grown-up job and work in a bank, where my first day I'm put onto a computer and they said, oh, here's where you type in your email address. I didn't even have an email address. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Even years ago, Pete's daughter, Leah, had an email address.
Yeah.
And she's only 14, nearly 15 now. So, stuff like that is so important. Yeah. So I went into this totally digital computer world. But what it did was, instead of me feeling afraid of this, which I know a lot of people are afraid of, I went, wow, look at all the opportunities this opens up for me as a person. I can email people around the world. This is incredible. The internet opened up. This YouTube thing opened up. Yeah, and suddenly I could watch other people doing things, which is a better way for me to learn, or I could engage with people around the world. So instead of fighting against technology, I chose to embrace it because I could see, as a performer, I can perform to one person, in front of one person. I can perform in front of a crowd of hundreds. 44,000 is the biggest crowd I've performed in front of, which was great. But suddenly this digital world meant I could perform in front of millions, and I have. In fact, so if we go back to your business, when we sort of started bringing this business together, your project had made a lot of money for the Wānanga. Yep. So Pete's project for the Wānanga made, am I allowed to talk facts and figures? No, you can talk to Pete separately about that. But it made a lot of money. That's all I'm going to say. And it did really well for education. Since we've combined our superpowers together, communication, digital technology, we have over the last 3 years reached more than 150 million people worldwide. If you were a client who were working with us, you will have experienced what it's like to get that level of exposure. Working with Dill Marti as an example, that was a brilliant one. We reached a million people in one live stream for brand awareness. That's utterly brilliant.
So there was a 30-minute, I think it was 30 minutes of live streaming.
Yes, it was.
But it was a special occasion, of course, which is always a good way to do that. And it was a tea party that was going right around the world globally. So everywhere at 5 p.m. There was a tea party to celebrate the 150 years of Ceylon tea being planted. Where was it planted?
Sri Lanka.
Yep, that's right. So what happened was every hour we got a new batch of people because they wanted to see because we were first. New Zealand was first because we hit the time zone first. So basically every hour there was a whole new country kicking on and watching our live stream. So literally reached 1 million people. So by the end of it, you could read your Facebook stats reach over 1 million, which is just fantastic in 24 hours.
It's just brilliant. And this is the way that business needs to go. We're really on the cusp of this new, they say it's the fourth industrial revolution. Pete and I can't speak on behalf of you. I think it's the digital revolution that we're on the cusp of. And the reason why we wanted to do this podcast today is to really highlight, and hello to everybody watching, by the way. I can see there's a bunch of you watching online. Definitely. I really wanted to share with you or open up the conversation, just get you thinking about your own business. where are the opportunities for you to grow in the digital space? Is your business safe right now? That's one of the big things we're going to talk about. And if you don't know how to future-proof your business in the digital landscape, obviously, message us, talk to us. Come and have a chat, and that's really our areas of specialty. So, Pete, first of all, let's talk about a safe business. What is a safe business to you?
Right. Okay. So I've broken these down. So SAFE. And first of all, secure. S stands for secure. Okay, so your business needs to be secure. It needs to be well looked after. It needs to make sure that, basically it's going to be there tomorrow. Activated. Activated. You've got to be on fire. You've got to be into your business. It's got to be working. It's got to be going. It can't just be like ticking along. You've really got to be going for it. The F is financial, because otherwise, what are we doing it for?
True.
It's crazy if you're putting all of the effort in, and you come to the end of the month and it's not financially viable, then it's not going to be very good for you at all. And of course, E is effective. Now, why it needs to be effective: if you're trying to achieve something, it needs to actually be achieving that. There's no point in putting a whole lot of effort in if it's not being effective. So if you're whatever your business is, if you've got an online shop, and selling something and it's just not working, then, basically you've got to look at why it's not working. Yeah. That's right. But, so that's it. Secure, activated, financial, and effective.
Such good points. And, security covers so many things. So one of the questions we got asked when we were doing a keynote recently was, social media platforms, how do I stay secure? Really a good question. Number one, are you using different passwords on each platform? Are they, smart passwords, and the fact that, they're a mix of capitals, lowercase, digits, and, maybe some punctuation, maybe, an exclamation mark, things like that. Security within those social media platforms, you can also set your security levels as well. So you can have things in there within, for example, my Facebook page, my personal profile is 100% public. Because for me, that page, while I connect with family and friends, it's still a business page for me. So I want everybody to be able to see the stuff that I share. And I have, for my own security and safety, I have my own branding guidelines in place to ensure that nothing I share would offend or upset. I never share anything that, unless I'm really passionate about it. I have all those kind of things in place for my safety, but also the safety of the people that I have in my world. Activated is a great point too, Pete. I have to say, a lot of people will set up a business and then just kind of go, I'm not sure why I did it.
Yeah.
What? Why spend all that money? It costs thousands to set up a business. Why do it unless you're passionate about it?
Yep.
If
yeah,
financial. The amount of people that come and talk to us going, I've got this great idea. And all ideas are great ideas, but if it's not, there's no point doing it if it's not financial, as Pete said. Yeah. At the end of the day, we need to make money to live in this world. And right now, more than ever, if your business isn't adaptable into the technological or digital space, is your business likely to remain financial, or is now your opportunity to look at other options of diversification? I mean, great question, right? Yeah, and question. E, effective. That covers so many, like as you were saying that, I'm thinking it covers so many things, Pete, from is your advertising effective? Is your mail newsletter trigger chain, is that effective? Is that working for you? Are you getting the responses and the conversions you should be? Have you got a landing page on your website because you're selling a service or a product and it's not converting? If you've got a one-to-one business model where you've got to face or coach clients, is that business effective right now?
Or you could be a social entrepreneur and you want to help the world. Well, are you helping the world? So it comes down to measure yourself on these four things. It's a good chance to think about your business right now and go, well, okay, am I secure? The reason we're talking about this today, obviously, the situation in the world at the moment, in New Zealand is just kind of up until now, getting away with it, really.
We're pretty lucky here in New Zealand.
We're very, very, I guess maybe the word could be blessed, or, anything that you feel that you want to put in there. We're actually getting away with it at the moment. Secure, is your business secure? Do you have are you reliant on overseas visitors coming through your business, or
that's right.
face to face, or
do you have insurance, business insurance,
all of that sort of stuff? It's a good chance to actually have a think about it and go, well, actually, we'll go into one of the other podcasts. We'll talk about pestle. There's all of the different
political
ways
and environmental,
and social and economical. Those things are economic. That is something that's come out of the blue, really. I mean, if we were to say 8 weeks ago, our country would be in lockdown effectively for visitors turning up here for 2 weeks once they get here. If we had said that, we would have gone, nah, that'll never happen.
Never happen. Not in beautiful, clean, green New Zealand.
And yet here we are, 8 weeks later. The realities of your business had been affected by essentially an environmental and a political condition that you probably never saw coming.
That's true. So, now I've just noticed a comment come through from Tracy Marie. Kia ora to you. Hope you're doing really well. Who said, Morena team, fantastic advice here that I personally are in need of for the talent tree. That's exactly right. I mean, Tracy Marie, you're in an industry, film and television. Talent Tree is a booking agency for talent. You're in a position where how is the effects of social distancing now going to affect the film and television industry? I mean, it's something I'm passionate about. I've been in the industry for more than 25 years now. We're already seeing films not being released around the world because of this pandemic. We're seeing movies, the slowdown of movie production right now because people can't be in the same space working together to film. This is really, for you, Tracy Marie, the one thing, sharing a little bit of advice, the one thing I would do, because this is going to be the age of digital production and digital communication in isolation. If you have talent who can potentially grow as influencers that can support businesses to promote products, that's where you can look at diversification. That's a great space for you to grow another income stream for all of your talent. If they're solely relying on acting as a gig, it's just not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. That's a great way to create a safe space for your business, and then at the same time look at creating a safety network for all of your talent as well, who I know you being the mother hen will feel really responsible for. So I hope that helps.
That's good. I think just thinking about different types of diversification, I guess, if you've got a retail store, do you also have an online portion of it if you've been thinking about it, or maybe you've got one and it doesn't, it's not on the top of the list? People are still going to want things. They still need to buy certain things. So you got to look through your list and go, right, okay, what on my list is an absolute need that if I ramped this up right now, I could be doubling my income through my digital store. I mean, if it doesn't matter what that figure is, if you want to double it or triple it or whatever, just pick a number and go, right, I think I can do that. The reason is, people are still, if you've got something that people still need, like we've got some toothpaste we just got, and literally we can get that online through this particular person that we got it from,
and it's brilliant
and it's really good. So far it's working really well. Really I quite like it. So that's the thing. Set up a digital funnel to drive more ads to toothpaste, because people are not going to be going to the shop soon. They're going to be wanting to buy their stuff online. So if you set up a funnel, that people are going to need toothpaste, then set up a digital funnel to drive Facebook ads through to your online store to get people to understand that they don't need to go to the store to buy it. So it's actually a good chance. I was going to say good time.
Opportunity.
Not the right thing.
It's a good opportunity.
Chance to start thinking about those types of things and actually put more into your marketing. Don't put less into your marketing, because if you've got to change from being a retail store to an online store, then you need to get yourself out there so that people understand that you are the place to come and buy the toothpaste. So you actually need to spend more on marketing right now, more than ever. So especially digitally, spend it digital. Don't worry about anything. Just get in there. Find those those ways that you can turn money over digitally and focus on them.
I would agree.
At least for the next 6 months, even, I would say.
I noticed lovely Tina Tanui is watching. Hi, kia ora, Tina.
Kia ora.
Great to see you. I mean, you and I have been talking recently about e-commerce. Absolutely, it's a way to go. Drop shipping products, a way to go. Right now, the people who are going to do really well are the network marketing companies, to be absolutely honest, because they have digital support. They have great platforms. They've got awesome products which are already created for you. And you normally, when you get into a network marketing organization, you have people to support you to set up your own business. If we move into a place of isolation where we won't be able to go to the store to buy products, I don't know what's going to happen here in New Zealand, but if we do move into that state, which is what's been happening, I was watching video content from Italy this morning on this. If we go into lockdown, it's those people who have already set up their platform in the digital space who are going to keep growing and keep creating revenue. Yep. And right now, more than ever, that's what we need.
Absolutely.
What I am happy about is that I read an article this morning in the fact that I believe the last case of COVID-19 had successfully been treated in China.
Right.
So I think the preventative measures of what they're doing over there is great. So for anybody using China as a drop shipping partner, as an example for a business, if you've had clients who have suppliers who have closed off because of COVID-19, chances are those vendors are going to open up again. So that's great news. However, this is going to keep rolling out for at least the next 3 to 6 months within the world. That's what they anticipate. Even America's said they're about 90 days behind China. So then I guess we'll be at least another 90 days behind America. So we've got probably another 6 months of uncertainty. This is the time to embrace digital technology. And again, if you don't know where to start, send us a message. Happy to chat. You got a message there, Pete?
I do, but I was just about to say, use Zoom for your client calls if you can. Just things like that. I know it's weird and different and new when you first start out, and you're kind of staring down a camera and you're not really in the same room with them. You get used to it. It's gonna have to happen that way, so think about that. So I mentioned Zoom as a product. There are other products you can check out, but I think we've got a Zoom account, and there's a certain amount you can do for free on there to get you going. So if instead of having to travel to see your clients, or even if you're doing any of your work that may normally be sitting room to room, see if you can actually do it virtually. Also, of course, got a message here from Tracy Marie just saying that casting agents are now requesting self-tapes. So basically teaching them how to impressively do self-tapes digitally is a must and urgent for them to learn how to do it. Funny enough, I think you just facilitated a whole day's training on how to do this type of thing. It's a good opportunity.
It's a good point.
Yep.
So I'm with a casting agency called Talento, and I not this weekend, just gone the weekend before, I did a full day of training. I had 3 groups, teaching them about the basics of when you go into an audition, what to expect, and basically setting yourself up for great audition technique. And I believe I'm going to have to start actually digitizing that process to be able to share with these people going through this process, because if you're not setting yourself up on camera properly, if you're auditioning, I know a lot of people who are auditioning for overseas films, and even the likes of Shortland Street right now have to send in a self-tape. That's just the way that the industry is moving. And it doesn't matter how big or how small. I know some really big name actors who send in self-tapes. It's just the way that the future is going. It's more time efficient as well. And there's no overheads for a casting director to find a space. More casting directors are moving to their own homes. So casting directors are no longer having their own premises, which is a real change in the community. But what is great is it's opening up, they're embracing technology. It's opening up that opportunity. It means the casting process is happening faster, which is utterly brilliant. So there's a lot of pros to this. And right now it's also protecting our safety and our health. And I think that's brilliant. If anybody watching, if you're in the entertainment industry and you're not sure how to do that, we're gonna release a course on it soon anyway, so that's gonna help you. But yeah,
Awesome.
as I mentioned too, anybody in entertainment, if you also have a big following in digital, now more than ever is your time to look at the power of influence. Even if you've only got 50 people following you, you've still got 50 people that you have influence over. And that's really beneficial for a smaller business who needs some advertising or some leverage, but they don't have the budget to be able to work with a Kardashian.
Yep.
So micro influencers are absolutely the way forward as well.
Great. Well, we might wrap it up now.
Okay, brilliant.
That's
awesome.
good. So we're going to recap first. First of all, we're basically talking about the fact that you need to diversify digitally now with your business. So if you've got a face-to-face type of business, retail or anything like that you know, look at ways that you can digitize your business somehow with maybe meeting clients, you know, virtually. Maybe you could do a training course of some description.
Working with a virtual assistant. I've just seen Gabrielle popped online. Hi, Gabe. Nice to see you.
Yep, that's right. Getting farming out some of your work that you might personally do to a virtual assistant. We're talking about having Zoom meetings. What else we've been talking about? Online store. You know, think about driving more traffic to your online store. So now's the time to advertise more and spend more money on marketing to push the digital channels. What else?
And also now's the time to think about a side gig as well. So if you've got great services, and we just spoke to a young gentleman the other day who is utterly brilliant. He's fantastic, and yet he had to be let go from the business because a lot of their clientele, he's in digital, a lot of the clientele they had was in tourism, so he had to be let go. And now more than ever, his talents and his genius in digital are super important. So rather than him working for a company, one of the things we said is, now's your opportunity to diversify and look at setting yourself up a side gig. He's brilliant at lead generation. How many businesses out there need that right now?
Absolutely.
So thinking about those talents you have and utilizing that, not in the traditional business sense. Now more than ever, it's your opportunity to jump on board the entrepreneurial train. You know, if you need stability, be grateful for a part-time job and set up a part-time gig on the side, doing anything you can, utilizing your skills virtually, whether it's influencer, whether it's virtual assisting, whether it's whatever you can do. Package it up, share it with wild abandon.
Absolutely. And of course, we're putting together a whole lot of online training courses ourselves, and we're obviously reaching you through our digital communications today. So you're watching us, and this is one of our diversifications, is we're going to be doing a lot more training. We've got some people around the world now that we are working with, so we can't just hop on a plane anymore. So, you know, at the moment anyway, so probably the next 6 months will be, you know, a lot of Skype and Zoom. That's right, a lot of transition. But once you've done it, you know, once you've got people doing your virtual training, they don't just one day stop. It carries on. So it is absolutely worth it. So that's kind of the recap of what we're doing here. This is the Dog and Pony Show. I'm Pete Ward.
I'm Monique Bradley. Also, I just wanted to say we have a Facebook group which we're going to be utilising a whole lot more. So all you need to do is look for the Dog and Pony Show. It's a private group. We actually started it up a couple of years to teach people about live streaming. And we've just decided to reactivate it and to give you guys ideas around digital marketing, education, and covering topics like this. So we'll be sharing ideas on training and all sorts of things. Just look for it. Join up. It's a free group, and we'd love... Oh, we've got 6 people wanting to join right now, actually. That's brilliant.
Fantastic.
So yeah, just join up, and we'll add you into the group.
Okay.
And keep connected.
That's great.
Dog and Pony Show.
That's cool. So keep yourself safe in various ways. So safe in your health, but also the other one we were touched on is safe for your business. So secure, activated, financial, and effective. Okay, that's the way to do it. So look after yourself, look after your business.
Keep safe.
Thanks for joining us, and keep safe. And we'll catch you again.
We'll see you in the next one.
Okay.
Bye.